Alright, give me just a second. I gotta set up the multi. So we have Charlotte. Alright, cool. Alright, looking over at the map, this is the Kundo's River map, which I've been on a few times for some various patrol stuff with some 506 ops back in the day. That was only, I think, a few months ago, but regardless, I think we're good to go here. Let me just get a sticky note out and ready to work. Here we go. Date it with today, which is the 31st. Cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. It's gonna be a slow day today, but I'll go ahead and get everything set here. So, looks like that's all good. Let me just make sure. Oh, well, nope, T4 plugin's working. And the mission has begun. So there's a few things I gotta do. First off, I don't think I ever paid out the prediction. Yeah, choose outcome. Up for won that one by the skin of their teeth. And then let's go ahead and set up the next prediction for Friday night fights before we get into everything.
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Oh, god damn it.
Forgot my wallet.
Sometimes when I loop the damn thing, there's ways to beat the YouTube ads for stuff I play, and then once in a while something breaks, but that should be the only incursion. Alright, let's see. It is green for attacking, blue for defending. So let me go ahead and set that up in said prediction here. So blue for defending, green for attacking. And then, you know, it's 15 minutes, so we got plenty of time to chill. Alright, let's get that set, and we're good to go. Alright, let's go ahead and have a look at the AO here. We have the new system where they have a bunch of additional tabs above, but let's give some shoutouts. Nataria, Trooper, welcome back, buddy. VGR, Arc, or Archangel, he's also known as Crazy Angel, freaking Legionary laughing in that Fallout op the other day. Shark, Ketnamina, LaFlash, and Daz. Flash, I gotta message you about how many times we've run the advert. I'm gonna run it 2 more times today, but also, is it okay if I'm thinking Sunday night, I'm gonna have a big stream in the evening where I stream the entire, like, a master file of, for the 24-hour event, and then that's what I will divide into everything else. Cool. Alright. Because I've been teasing it, and, I think it would be interesting to show off how to do a macro file, because I haven't done that in a very long time, and I think it would be fun. So, I'll get that penciled in for Sunday evening, but regardless, I'll get back to that. Let's go over the mission details for this scenario. So, for Blue 4 here, they're going to be defending a sector and a cache. Green 4 going to be trying to destroy both. If Blue 4 are able to defend one of those objectives, they will win, or if they're able to wipe out the entirety of Green 4, they will win as well. If Green 4 wipe the entirety of Blue 4, Green 4 wins, or if Green 4 is able to get both of the objectives done, they will also win. Very urban map with a few open areas in the middle, and then we have a quasi-military, more of a compound, I would say, based off of this large building with some nice open fields around it. I just heard a goat. Awesome. I think that's just dynamic noises in the village, but regardless, we've got some stuff around and some sort of convoy right here. Regardless, going over our briefing here. 800 meters of render distance, only 100 points for Fortify. Fortify color is going to be green, which usually it's either green or tan. I would think this would be more of a tan map, but that's fine, whatever. And then background, a convoy of U.S. Marines carrying valuable cargo has been halted by an enemy ambush, although the Marines managed to fight off the small ambush force. Now they're stuck, faced with a tough decision, trying to defend the cargo until reinforcements arrive, or find a more defensible position, and wait for exfil. No matter their choice, the battle ahead will be exhausting to say the least. Interesting. All right, Blue Force kits based off of the fact they just said Marines are going to be Marine 2020 kits. So we got the I-27 with looks like some 416s. Funny enough, 320 system. Actually, no, it's just 416s. All right, no I-27s from what I can see. 249s, no 240 Bravos. So I'll see if they have a Delta squad. And then Marksman's going to be the Mark 11. AT is going to be the single shot disposable AT4. Green Force kits are going to be Tribal 2010 Insurgent kits here. So we've got AK. I would assume AKMs, some with GP25 systems, SVD for the marksmen, RPKs for the light machine gunners, medium machine gunners get the PKP, and RPGs for the light anti-tank. So I'd assume that means for Blue 4, just everyone gets a 249, which I'm going to be honest, I think as a medium machine gunner, I'd prefer a 249 over a 240 myself, but we'll have to see how the unit's broken down. So Charlotte's going to be commanding. Charlotte is on the multi, by the way, if you want to see her POV. Turtles is going to be the platoon's medic. Curie leading Alpha with Sismo, Olaf, Major Khan, Alexander, McBain, and Lolo. Norris leading Bravo with Smith as the marksman, and Nara as the medic. Michael, Franz, Harrington, and Campbell in Bravo 1. Bravo 2 has Marstick and Hunt. Charlie being led by Nemesis with Azariah as the marksman, Malin as the medic. Cullis, Wise, Yanni, Finn, Wayne, and Flying Finn under Charlie 1. Charlie 2 has SL, Dream, Katz, Dobbs, and Purton. So no Delta, so we don't have to worry about that anyway. Patriot going to be leading Green 4 Command, Ash leading Alpha with Rana as the marksman and Eric as the medic. Alpha 1 has Tackleberry, Whiteside, Banks, Wheaton, Vagrant, and FPGA. Omri, Tomer, and Tom, no Thomas once again, under Alpha 2. Bravo's merged everyone together. It is Fawns leading Nicholas, Renly, T, Pierce, Tundian, Bursty, Crazy, Snajaper, Rodrig, and Mike. Charlie merged everyone together. It's Skipu leading Maxic, Heleneraz, Thomas, and I love saying this, Rambo Bambo, Rocky 19, Wiki Quartz, and Titan. And then Delta is a small fire team, probably just all machine gunners. Yeah, literally all 4 PKP gunners. NASA leading Cheeseburger, Kremet, Ibnomain, and Depso. So I think they just cut Delta out to prevent Blue 4 from having more machine guns to try to balance out the 249 and give Green 4 a bit more of an offensive firepower capability. And you know what? I kind of agree with that. The AO, the closest we get is right here, and that is roughly 500 meters from the actual spot, about 80 meters from the first set of buildings. So it's going to be very CQC in this scenario. Blue 4, I'm gonna be honest, I think I would say the AK is slightly superior in well, no. I don't know what the exact fire rate is between the M4 platform and the AK. Usually when it comes to CQC scenarios like this, whoever has the higher fire rate will reign supreme. Especially when it comes to semi-auto versus full auto. FNF a while ago had this massive British versus locals campaign where the British were given semi-auto weapons and the locals were given AKs, and the locals won every single game. Out of like 8 or 9, I'm pretty sure they won every single one because the single shot L1A1 the British kits were using, just even though it was a bigger caliber, it was 7.62 by 51 versus 7.62 by 39, the AKs just out DPS them every single time. But I mean, doing some static weapon comparisons here, gun to gun, primary battle rifle or primary rifle versus also Green 4 gets some transport, but it's just transport. Rifles, I would say, are negligible because, you know, network desync, aiming for the head or center mass, and then actually having your bullets hit where you want, because sometimes you'll get a headshot, but Ace will register it as a freaking shoulder hit, which then it registers as an arm hit instead. I mean, that's just depends on your placement at that point. Marksman rifle, Mark 11 versus SVD. All right, you have a 20-round 7.62 with a red, like a actual dot scope versus the SVD with 10 rounds with the upside down V scope, the PSO. I'm gonna be honest, this one's superior because the scopes you can range in a bit better. The scopes are more accurate. You have double the ammo. I see people utilize the Mark 11 and run circles around people that use SVDs. Light machine gun, RPK, 45 round magazine versus an M249 with a 200 round magazine. I don't even have to compare those. You clearly know which one's going to be better. Plus, the fire rate of the 249 is ridiculous. One thing Green 4 does have an advantage in, though, is the AT4 versus the RPG. RPG gunners usually get 2 warheads in FNF versus the AT4, which is single-shot disposable. However, when we're playing with buildings here, one thing to note is that if Blue 4 decides to turtle really thin buildings, the RPG is going to shred those buildings. Right, okay. So that is, he was asking for the remaining Pog Ops for the campaign, if he could slide in towards the end of the campaign to, get a Bobcat vehicle for Triple R and a limited arsenal to basically use as a field resupply, and I told him yes. Plus, I'm in a good mood, because we beat the goal there for that campaign, so more than happy to provide at the best I can do for that. So pay for campaign for Pog has ended, and we will be closing out that campaign with a few fun ops, then a few bonus missions, and then resetting the campaign in its entirety, giving 2 to 3 missions where we don't do any pay for campaigning, and then come back to it around August. And I'm going to have a lot of cool additional ideas because that was the first time we ever did a pay for campaign, and we'll be bringing that back. Regardless, Blue 4-wise, there's 2 AOs for them to defend here. The building threat's a bit of an issue. However, if they pick an AO where they're going to have range on their enemy, it kind of negates the fact that the enemy can get right on top of them. So right off the bat, this AO, right next to enemy spawns that can come in, get to the edge of town, and swarm them, this is a bad choice because it's going to basically create a lack of kill zones for Blue 4 to utilize. They'll get turtled in their buildings, RPG'd to death. No bueno. I think this is the cache, right? Yeah. Cache, don't worry about. This other AO, on the other hand, this entire sector, which is just the perimeter of this building, they can also put fortifications on top. You've got some beautiful open areas for marksmen to work with. You've got some urban areas that you know you're going to funnel your opponent into, so setting up a defensive line right here would also be very smart. And some beautiful open area fields of fire for your 249s at close range to just lock down with their superior fire rates. I knew I heard goats. Excellent. Regardless, I feel like this AO is very, very in favor of Blue 4. Yes, Green 4 also has PKPs. PKPs, 100 rounds set up in some of these buildings afar to basically suppress Blue 4 positions is nice. Green 4 has 4 of them, but Blue 4 also have the Mark 11, and they can easily ping anything that's, within medium range of this town. So I don't know. Again, I'm really leaning Blue 4 here, but we could see Green 4 do something crazy to pull out. Plus, they've got all these different vehicles to potentially utilize to get all the way around this objective and potentially hit it from the rear early on. But still, the openness of the areas around this 1 AO, and then the big amount of overwatching positions, especially the ones that they're building out of these bunkers and whatnot. They're building little rooftops to also deflect grenades and whatnot. I love the ingenuity of the engineers in FNF. Absolutely. It's going to really make this a difficult AO for Green 4 to get into. But I've seen crazier matches like this where they seem to really one-sided still fall apart. It's on to the players at that point. We do have Scandi on Blue 4. They're a pretty good offensive group. What we could also see for a way for Blue 4 to throw this is weaponize Scandi in a way that pulls them out of the AO so they're not actually holding the position, and then they're not able to come back in time, and the remaining force just gets defeated in detail and absolutely rushed. That has happened a few times in FNF, and I really hope we don't see it again because it's so disappointing to see just a group of people get bulldozed, bulldog, good God. And I already kind of see that, though. We do have some forces down here. They've set up some defensive emplacements. That also makes me worry that they're separating their players out. I'm going to be honest, for the amount of people we have on, I think everyone on Blue 4 could just hold this compound till the end. Maybe have a squad on the outside and then, hide it in one of the, I almost called that a citadel, one of the mosques, and then pull it out later to hit the enemy on the rear. That would also be a good call, but I see a group of people over here. I see a big group over there. I'm a little worried that Blue 4 is going to defeat themselves in detail here because they have so much stuff branched out. I mean, we saw that last week as well. So, regardless, we'll just have to see how it plays out. Now, nonetheless, I'm only covering rounds 1 and 2 tonight. I promised Bloodwind we'd go out for tacos tonight. So before we get back to DayZ, I will be going out to, yeah, it's Taco Bomba. I've got a few free items to cash in. So I'll have a few drinks, but if you guys want to make for a more interesting DayZ stream, feel free to give me some drinking money. Favorite taco? That's a tough one. There is... I've been spoiled by this taco place because they have a few different places around where I live, and each one does their own unique, like, Tex-Mex style tacos. One of my favorites, though, is called a Robinson Ramen. I will spell it out in chat. If you want to look that up, and then it's by Taco Bamba. It's literally ramen in a taco. And that doesn't sound appetizing, but the way that they flavor the ramen noodles, they braise the pork with it. It's just the perfect bite. I don't even know how to describe it because there's no way I could that does it justice. Like, it's just savory and very, very good. I would jump off a cliff for some Chipotle right about now. Hey, you sound like my fiance. Not even once in a while. I'd say once every week or two. She's always adamant about getting Chipotle. Ay. Nonetheless, let me tab out, catch up with you guys. Total Guy, hey, man, I haven't seen you in a hot second. So here's the thing. On both of those statements, MCO, I have in a bit of a back burner right now, mainly because we did the latest one, I want to say a month and a half ago, and the communities really went at each other's throats, which is unfortunate. So instead, I took a month off, and then something fell on my lap, and we're doing something a little crazier than an MCO. It's 4 communities, and it's a 24-hour long operation across 8 3-hour mission files. And we'll be seeing that in about a month. But I will be streaming the dev work for that this Sunday around 10 p.m. because it's going to take me a few hours to get that one ironed out, because I'm going to be pretty much building an entire garrison on the island of Limnos, aka Altis. It's a Turkish breakaway faction from the military, and I've done a decent amount of research to make it as accurate as possible with 3CB factions and RHS, so that should be an interesting one. More SOG Prairie Fire Ops. I not always, but I try my best every week on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I play with Artsy Columbia. They are the devs and the QA testers for SOG Prairie Fire. And they make some really good custom missions from Mac and... Oh, what's his name? I'm blanking on it. It's not Saint. But they have 2 really good mission devs that make some really fun custom experiences. Last time I went, I got blown up by an SPG-9, and we almost got squad wiped. It was the funniest thing. But we always try to do that. In terms of ops that I host, we have so much other stuff on the docket right now, it's probably not going to be till later next month, because it is the last day of this current month, May. So I'd say mid to late June, I might sneak one in there, because I have this recurring file where I like to do an SOG Prairie Fire mission, which, you know, literally entices the term of Prairie Fire to try to get a full SOG team out, and usually only a third of them survive at most. And it's a little crazy. Nonetheless, we also, for DayZ tonight, we'll be putting up a D-Goal to have a 24-hour DayZ stream at a 750 mark, and then at a 250 and a 500 mark, I will be giving the following terms. 1, if we hit 250, I will literally, first thing I do after DayZ concludes is I will go and buy the heartbeat monitor, and I will get it shipped, because we'll have that for the 24-hour stream, if that's the case. And the second thing we'll do, at the 500, is I will let some of you guys throw in suggestions for Plinko for DayZ, no matter how crazy. I've already talked with Razor about potentially having one, and he's already given me some logistics of what we're going to do with it, so that's all up for grabs. Regardless, let's cover the sector real quick. So right off the bat, I'm a little worried, because Blue 4 have really separated their forces out into 2 positions. They're not even going to bother holding the destroy objective. That's going to mean all these guys are caught out of position. Green 4, though, even more interestingly, have separated in various areas here. And normally I wouldn't agree with that, but when you have CQC like this, it actually is beneficial to have more coverage, because CQC really limits the amount of engagements you'll have on a squad-to-squad level. So if you bring like 40 people through all these buildings in this one area, there's only so many places those individuals can move in at a time, so you have a lot of additional players in the back line that can become easy pickings for anyone on Overwatch, or for grenades to be thrown and take them out. So while I don't disagree with the plan here, what they need to make sure they do is unify the attack. Because otherwise you're going to have forces get caught out of position right here and randomly picked off by people marauding in buildings. And it just takes one dude in a building to wipe an entire team when it comes to this urban stuff. Looks like they spotted Blue 4 right here, and they were trying to come out and dig trenches. Unfortunately, the PKMs weren't well ranged, otherwise they should have had Harrington dead to rights. Or technically PKP. One's just a more modernized system of the other. But again, I'm really worried about this force up here, because if it needs to pull back, there's not a lot of room for them to do it. I think their intention was to get that blown up and then come in on the rear of whatever comes in. But because Green 4's really divided their forces, I don't think you're going to see much use of this team. So they might already be pulling some guys back to potentially put pressure on that position. But I think this is going to be a bit of a longer game as Green 4 come in with various forces. Like, some have deployed all the way down here, which is pointless because Blue 4 don't have any vehicles. Green 4 are the ones that start with the vehicles, and I think they could see where both sides spawned. Green 4 could have just literally driven up to the village and immediately walked in. So the fact that they're deploying all the way out here means they're going to have to walk a kilometer. So by the time that these forces come in and get engaged and countered, they're going to be starting to walk in. But these teams are going to be eliminated. So I feel like Blue 4, even though they started with a really awkward positioning, they're already changing it, realizing that the fight's potentially coming from down here, so they're going to come down and eliminate that group. This group's going to get the cash. We might see some of this group then break away to deal with them as well. It's just a really awkward plan, and I don't understand why Green 4 decided to put people immediately in the zone, other people immediately in the zone, and then trickle in more later. Every single time I've seen that done results in the team's loss. So that's a really weird choice there. But anyway, explosives thrown, and that is a cache destroyed. I don't see any casualties, so that's good. Now I'm wondering if Charlie and Charlie 1 are going to break off and try to deal with that, or if they're going to try to stick together and deal with the overwatching Delta position. What we could also see, and nope, there's our first casualty. That was a member of Delta trying to get below, and that was the team leader. So yeah, like I said, the openness of these areas and the fact that you're dealing with enemies with 249s and whatnot. You got the marksman now opening up. I feel like the plan here was to maybe put Delta out here to draw Blue 4 away so Green 4 could come in from a different angle, but Green 4 dropped off way too far with some of their teams for this to be meaningful, because it looks like they're going to come onto this ridge and start engaging. But then they still have this massive open area they got to go through unless they smoke it, or if they pull back and go through this low ground instead. So I feel like Green 4 is completely misreading the map here. And even then, you see that this is all open. They should be coming in from the urban areas and covering themselves as they advance. So it just really feels like Delta here was sent out to die early on. But it's a weird call all around. Charlie 1's come down here. They're taking some GL fire, so now they're adjusting. But I genuinely think these two Green 4 elements are going to get killed off before this force gets into any meaningful position. If not, they're at least going to be heavily suppressed. So you got some Green 4 teams moving in. You have Purton trying to come around to get on an angle. He could run up here and close distance. It's just with PKPs, especially if they're bipoded, you don't want to be in front of any machine gun that's bipoded, because they have a very stable position. They just have to line up their tracers to your head and you're dead. Simple as. How quickly they do that just depends on a little bit of luck and their fire rate. Grenade thrown up. Skipu, I think, is going to have it deflected by the rocks. Good for him. So he's opening up with the AK. Gets a good grenade throw. Oh, if that wasn't a smoke, that would have smoked potentially Cullis as well as Wayne. So a bit of a miss throw there, but otherwise this Blue 4 team's repelling this group. Now, when it comes to CQC, they can really start to flank around. You're going to see Azariah doing that. And I forgot my plugin's busted, so when people die, I actually hear them again because of, I was forced to update TFAR for one of the communities. Ugh. Regardless. Blue 4 pushing around. Azariah getting some double taps. Thought he was shooting at Hallimans, but we have Wilbur dead up here. I don't know why he was so far away from any Blue 4 element down right there. You got Green 4 now realizing that that plan might have been silly, so they're starting to disseminate in down here. But again, that just leaves these two Green 4 groups out to dry because they're going to be spending another like 10 minutes maneuvering in. I think Company HQ might have just fired a hunt IR in the air or something. That or just a random round deflection. Titan taking fire. A thermal grenade coming into his previous position. Johnny firing a GL. It's a bit short. That wall gets blown out on the corner. I don't know if that was someone out running a charge out or what. But yeah, all of Charlie's turned around to deal with this team. And they are pretty much getting overwhelmed. They are 2 down right here. Blue 4 on this angle are down none because it's, again, we have Wilberg that died all the way over there. I don't know what that's about. A lot of explosives going back and forth. GL detonating next to Titan. I'm surprised that didn't take him out because that was definitely within range. And you still have this force plinking at Delta back there. They haven't killed off any of the machine gunners, though. Yanni taking some fire. He's in the open, but he's got that GL. I think GLs in FNF only get 3 AT or HE rounds, but they can always loot more from friendlies or dead enemies. But you got Blue 4 now flanking on the northern side of this Green 4 group. Another fun thing about Urban CQC is being an explosive specialist and taking explosive satchels. So if you realize that there's an enemy garrison, you just pop a satchel in a building, pull back, and then watch the door, because they're dead if they run out, because you'll shoot them. Nemesis gets taken out. And double tap by Helener is there. But yeah, if they stay in there, they're usually dead. That's why I prefer satchels, because it will almost always destroy the building in its entirety, if it can be destroyed, whereas explosive charges might take a few. Anders trying to vault over. And immediately gets plinked off by Wikicourt's overwatching. So great overwatch from this building. But now you got Blue 4 starting to breach in, so they get that guy in the second story. Auto Rifleman's leading, gets a headshot. And amazingly enough, Titan gets the auto rifleman, but he doesn't get the follow-on. So Green 4 able to get a few more kills here. Burton comes into a 1v1 with Enderaz, takes his handgun out and finishes him. And that entire Green 4 team has been wiped. That has been... So we still have Maxic over here, I think, with some elements of... Where's Patriot a part of? I think Ground Command team. Yeah, so those 3. But that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people wiped here for... 3 on Blue 4, and a 4th was SL Dream. So even with that 2-person number advantage, Green 4 started with a number advantage, a 2-person deficit, I should have said. But if Green 4 can still play like that, I think they can still win. It's just they're going to give Blue 4 a very slight lead. We have another Blue 4 member knocked out over here. That's Flying Finn. I don't know if he was picked off over here, just shot when people were breaching, but I think for the rest of this game, the infantry out here are going to get pinned because you've got the Green 4 guys right out here. So this is now giving a decent opportunity for Green 4 to attack. I just wish Green 4 was beginning that attack as this fight was going out, because you could have seen Green 4 get right up to the door, basically the doorstep of this compound, forcing Blue 4 to panically move through, and then they could have gotten flanked by the Green 4 command team. So Delta 1's now folding back. They're trying to get into a closer position to keep this position harassed so that the main Green 4 force can basically smash through. The question is, are they going to be able to do that? Azariah mag dumping with his marksman rifle. Patriot's going to come around, get a great shot on Cullis. Gets the back of the head headshot as Cullis was trying to advance. Azariah trying the flanking solution. Catches Patriot, but he runs in the wrong direction. Patriot dodges him. Azariah hears his footsteps. He knows he's playing ring around the rosy with Patriot. Patriot gets behind him. Azariah draws a handgun. Patriot also trying to draw the handgun. And he gets the freaking knockout. Welcome to Arma 3 PvP, where I don't even know what the hell's going on half the time. I can tell you Azariah's live reaction is going to be, damn, that's bullshit, bro. Pi comes in with a few double tapping shots, and these guys are going to be running around the side. Purton's going to potentially lock that side down. When this fight concludes, we're going to look. Patriot getting some shots on Purton. Throws a grenade. Patriot trying to time a grenade. It's a smoke, though. That grenade manages to get Purton, though. Wayne trying to flank around, but Patriot outplaying some elements of Scandi Recon here, and you got these two guys still working on Finn to get him back in fighting order. Crazy 2-for-1 special there. Regardless, we have some of Blue 4 out in the front line here, starting to deal with Green 4's main attack. But the fighting here is nearly even, though. It's now 5-3 now because they got their one guy up. But we see that Green 4 are trying to maneuver forces around to encircle who they can in that fight. Regardless, Delta's moved onto these positions to try to do some overwatching fire. Green 4 trying to move forces in. Blue 4 slowly pulling away their sentry positions. And then we got Smith hiding out here with a marksman rifle. I think he could potentially be instrumental. If he realizes that Green 4 is right below him, he could wait and get some really nice headshots on any Green 4 guy that holds a position. Explosive traps going off, but not fully destroying buildings. That was nearly perfect in its timing, but unfortunately, that's another thing. If there was an explosive specialist up here who put 2 satchels down and he was watching Green 4 come in, he could get a really nice multi-kill if he wanted to. Nora's coming in. Unfortunately, he's kind of out of position by Fawns and taken out. Looking back at this fight, we still have Blue 4 sweeping through. Green 4 is letting them come around. However, if these guys continue to move around, they could get on the rear of the main Green 4 attack and wreak a little bit of havoc. I really have no idea why Smith is tunnel vision like this. He's just looking and watching. I guess his orders are to basically stay in position, but if he wanted to do that, shouldn't he be more... Yeah, I guess there's no good position from the ground to hide in, but now he needs to consider looking over and opening up on people. That's another fun thing about Urban CQC. It's really easy to hide a few people in the back line and take them out. But if he wants to make a move, he needs to get up and make it now. Because otherwise, he's just going to lose his angle here. And I'd argue he already kind of has. I'm a little worried that Blue 4 doesn't have the defensive personnel here to hold against this attack. But Green 4, we see them starting to come in. Is that a frag? No, it's a smoke. I was about to say, that's going to be funny. McBain taking a pretty nasty GL, but, oh, he's a little further back in the compound than I thought. These guys now breaching in. France getting a nice double kill there. No one thought to breach and look left, but France was able to hold that spot. I think those are the only, it's the only time you're going to hear that sentence come out of my mouth. Explosive satchel thrown on the outside. T's running for it. He's still in the blast radius, yep. More explosive charges being thrown. McBain doing his best to hold against Bursty. Tundian comes around. Another, that's I think a normal grenade? No, it's a smoke. All right. Misthrow right there. He's just popping a few smokes to cover himself. Mike breaches and gets Whiteside. Seismo now running downstairs. Starts emptying his marksman rifle into the doorway. Seismo jumps out of the rooftop. No, he threw an explosive satchel and he killed himself. And I think Mike ran out of the building. Poor Seismo. I'm pretty sure he just blew himself up. And that earns a spot on my list. So Green 4, the first wave. They're still trickling forces in. Charlie now coming along the rear. Because Green 4 went around. Looks like Pi got knocked out. Either to jumping off a rooftop or the stairs or something. He could have fallen off. That body was already dead. Blue 4 getting caught in the open here. Has Smith done anything? He has not. Again, he was watching Tackleberry in the doorway. Now we hear him opening up. Don't know on what. But he's trying now. And he just did get a kill there. So he's still doing a few things. I think you got that Green 4 guy right there. Wayne, don't know why you're staying in the firing angle. He's now shooting at Dobbs' direction. Seems to be really confused on... Oh, that grenade throw. Bye, Wayne. The tree, I think, just saved him from a majority of the shrapnel. That's even funnier. Wayne has no idea where Wheaton is. Wheaton, please stop bullying the poor lad. Really good bounce, but Wayne moved a little bit, and now he's trying to assault where Dobbs is, thinking it's Dobbs in there doing that. Another grenade goes wide. Too far to hurt Wayne, I think. No, it's a smoke grenade. Okay. He could very well breach Dobbs, though. Yeah, okay, so I think you just BID'd that was friendly. I haven't seen any AT shots in this one, so that's been quite interesting to see. Looking at the garrison, though, we got more Green 4 trickling in. Delta's going to start trickling in. Blue 4 are definitely outnumbered here. Harrington going down. McBain from here can't see Bursty in the foliage there. Harrington wakes back up, only to run into 4 dudes. Gets a satchel thrown. Bursty's going to run right into it. That's going to get at least 2 or 3 people. Amazing. That grenade might get Pierce. Ah, he gets knocked out just before he can turn the corner. So some great grenadier work. Another grenade by Major Khan goes out and gets the 4th guy. Can Major Khan get some double taps? He's got a 249. Vagrant's in the corner, probably bandaging a little bit. There he is. Yeah, he's checking bodies. So that assault wave's been stopped. Will it be enough? Dobbs trying to avoid Wheaton's fire. Looks like the other guy was killed off. Nope, Dobbs gets taken out by Wheaton as well. Looks like Dobbs tried to steal an RPG. We've got more grenades being thrown into the compound from the back right here. They're trying to grenade the rooftop. Good call. That's going to annihilate anyone on the roof. They don't know that Blue 4 doesn't have anybody up there, but it's a great way to secure it nonetheless. One of these days we should play FNF Bingo. We can make an event. You can do shots with me of something. Something light, of course. That grenade. Oh, it was a thermite grenade. If that was a frag, that would have gotten both of them. That, it's going to be thrown too far. Charlotte throwing some more grenades. That one might get crazy. Crazy runs into the building before it can detonate, though. Snudgeberg gets knocked out. Patriot getting hit by Olaf as he holds. He's doing a quick reload. On the bottom, we see more knockouts. Lolo trying to hold from this one building. This is a really good spot. Charlotte advancing. But the sector has enough people in it, and it is being actively taken right now. So many grenade throws where if it was a frag, it would have been amazing. Great drop by Charlotte there. But there's only one Blue 4 in the zone right now. And Green 4 keeps entering. I think this is GG. Because Blue 4 only down to a handful. Lolo gets found by Tomer as Tom runs distraction. And Charlotte's the only one left alive in the AO. This is GG. That's the last Blue 4 guy, except for Malin. But I think Malin just running debug things as an admin. So, wow. Green 4 came in with a lot more players than I thought. But I think the main weakness was Blue 4 put a big chunk of their forces on the outside. And they just got pinned down by a force that was, I think, a little less than them. And Green 4 were able to utilize their remaining number advantage to still bring all their forces in at the same time. Delta coming in at the last second to engage from a different angle also really helped. And Blue 4 just basically couldn't win that attrition fight. And we're going to see a loss to time at this point. 3, 2, yep, there it is. And Vagrant immediately blows Wheaton up with an RPG. You know, I agree with that call. Just because I find it funny. And Charlotte also gets blown away by an RPG. Alright, well, there goes round 1. Alright, we're gonna give some time to let all the commands change out. We will be right back after these messages. As an Arma 3 content creator, one of the most common questions I get from fans is where can I find a good Arma 3 unit to play in? One of my biggest recommendations is milsimunits.com. You can click on the Arma button on the main browser, and it'll take you to a page where you can see various different Arma unit listings. Each listing has a nice picture representing the unit, a brief synopsis, and the information you need to join the unit. Unit leaders can also sign up on the website for free by simply joining the website's Discord. Alright, next mission is going to be on Fopovo, believe it or not. ASMR Liru, yeah, right? Alright, so this is going to be round 2, and then after this, unless it goes super well... So I promised Bloodwing anytime between 5 and 6, because she gets off in an hour, giggity, we would go get tacos. So I still think I'm not going to be able to squeeze in round 3. Unless, like, round 1 went super duper quick. Alright, it is going to be 4 objectives. Op 4 is going to be attacking Blue 4. Op 4 is attacking 3 Blue 4 terminals and 1 Blue 4 sector. Op 4 has a 7. If I can hit the 7 key, percent numbers advantage. Oh, that's a lot of... Wait, why does Blue 4 have construction cranes? Interesting. An MI-8 helicopter, 2 BTR 80As, 2 BRDMs, and then the rest is honestly just transport. Oh, no, a BTR 70 and transport. While Blue 4 has 2 construction crane. Question mark. 13 M240 nests. Okay. A striker. Three M2 Humvees, 2 are Crow. Okay, yeah, Blue. I hope we see smart people on those then. And 4 M2 statics. You think Blue 4 has enough machine guns? You know what? Since we have such heavy firepower, I'm going to change the music up too. You know what it is. I'm going to increase the volume. Let's get it on. Yeah, reading it out loud. 2 construction cranes, 13 M240 machine gun nests, which are the static ones from 3CB. 1 M2 M1151, which is just the Humvee. 2 M1078A1 P2s. I think those are either trucks or, Humvees or some sort of MRAP. They're not armed. 2 M2 HBs, which are just the standing static turret. And then 2 M1151A1s with the Crow M2, which can be auto-range as sniper rifles. And then you have a 1134 striker. And Op 4 only has... I'm not gonna lie, I would play this op if I could just sit in the gunner seat of that Crow and just murder people. Like, there's nothing here that could actually threaten me except the 80 alphas. But I could hit them with the Crow. I want to see what construction cranes are out here, because good God. I don't know at this point, man. At least we have the funny number in terms of player count. Alright, otherwise, since we have a bit of a social hour here, how are you all doing? So, tomorrow's streams, if you go ahead and do exclamation point schedule, we are going to have 3 Zeus ops back to back, starting at 3 o'clock. We are going to start with the 31st Steel Legion. And we are going to continue their Vietnam jungle fighting. TOC is going to be after. That is another 40k operation. They're going to still be doing combined arms. We're going to try to take the second half of Stratish that has been Warhammer 40k-ified in plenty of fortifications. The third op is going to be a bit more of a laid-back op. I'm going to have my player base act as the United Kingdom's police force, because there's a new law in effect for all owners of avian-related products, aka chickens. If you now own a single chicken, you have to get a license for it. So we're going to be the police force that may or may not has to go and check out those chicken licenses. And if you are a longtime fan of mine and you remember a certain Evergreen op we did where a certain vessel got stuck in the Suez Canal and let out a bunch of man-eating rabbits, I swear to God, this op has nothing to do with that. Regardless, our final stream will be another operation. This one will be on the ground for our fourth stream, back with the PMC guys at Stillwater Security Solutions. I might be able to drag Vix along with me for that one, though she's told me that she's usually busy on Saturdays, but might make an exception for this one because she's got nothing else to do. But I have no idea how that one's going to go, because that one we do little campaigns and then various one-offs. And the last one was definitely more roleplay-esque, but I did watch a forklift explode after trying to get it to not explode, and that was pretty funny. So we'll see what happens with this one. The chicken license op is going to be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So going through the list, again, if you type !schedule, you'll see all these booked for tomorrow. 3 o'clock is going to be the 31st. Steel Legion op, 5 o'clock is going to be TOC, 7:30 is going to be the chicken, and 10 o'clock is going to be Stillwater Security Solutions. So 4 streams back to back to back to back. Not sure if I'll be able to do the Schizo RP again. I have to ask beforehand, but I'm not going to do that for when we actually do combat-related ops. So if they're more roleplay-esque, then I'll probably let you guys be pretending to be what happens when I don't take my schizo medication. Anyway, Sunday, I'm still debating what we're going to be doing. But if I were to now look at my schedule on my side, we have RT Columbia booked and then Task Force Alpha at 8 o'clock booked. So I want to book something at 6 o'clock, but I also did tell Bloodwing, since she's going to be doing some bridal shower stuff, not related to her, to someone that her family knows and she's being dragged along. I did promise her I'd make her a creme brulee. And she said she'd be back around 6 o'clock. So, not sure I'll be able to schedule anything in that 5 to 7 slot. But I might do something beforehand. But I won't know till tonight. So we'll see how things go. Alright. Let's go ahead and get our prediction going. I'll put it for 20 minutes because this is going to be funny. There's way too many damn assets here. Alright, Blue 4 is defending, Op 4 is attacking. Let me just switch the verbiage here. And set you for 20. Excellent. And we're just going to jam out. So, this is on Fapovo. We're doing the oil areas on the top left of the map. And the barrenness of these positions as well. So we'll just have to see how things go. Because the trees speak Durka Durka? Yeah. Azariah, it's a license. We have to say it's a license for the sake of the meme of the joke, alright? And I'm sure we're going to get a decent amount of attendance. Actually, slotting for that opened up a few hours ago. Oops. Well, I mean, I'll probably have a moment to get those slots sorted. Yeah, so slotting's open for that. Shit. Give me a second. Give me a second. I gotta... Because there's some lock slots there that get unlocked if we fill them. So, give me like 1 minute. Here, everyone, tell me how your day is. I'll come back, we'll have a nice conversation, then we'll get into the operation. Alright. Daz taking an SMG. Morton's taking Squad 2's SMG. So, of course, the SMG gunners get the stuff right off the bat. I've given the squad leaders a full rifle, though, but we'll see how things go. But the last time I did a police op, it was a horror op, and I ended up murdering everybody. And, you know, it was kind of funny. But they enjoyed it. They were sufficiently spooked. And then we have a few medic slots in command. Because, you know, who's going to actually cause a scene when we're just checking, you know, licenses here? I'm sure, you know, no one's going to resist, you know, unless they have a knife. Squad 2 police. Shotgun. Okay, cool. Not that many people. Oh, wait. I didn't scroll down. There's still quite a few. Ah! Don't you hate it when you're copying and pasting names and then your hand just refuses to drag that little inch to get that one extra letter in? And your brain kind of lags out and it's like, why? Why aren't you moving? Oh boy, someone said any and ground commands open. Guess what slot they're getting? Alright, cool. Most of the slots have been taken, but there's still some ones I can unlock if we get more people to come in. So let's go ahead and get our stuff sorted here for this one op here. So are the cranes just here? Is it because they're... So they have a script that auto-collects... I know why it said they were construction cranes. So they're using, I think, the ones from either JBAD or... I'm not sure if 3CB has them. But I think JBAD adds construction cranes as vehicles. So because they're in the spawn sector... the script auto picks them up and puts them in the mission details. So it's decided to, I'm really curious. They're literally listed as a box. Capacity 2, crew 2, can it float? False. Weapons? None. And they give it a freaking ammo crate. Oh, man. And then it's a turnout. It's a tow striker. Oh! Oh! Wait, the tubes are in. Oh! Wait a minute. 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 Ooh! Ooh! I never thought we'd actually see ATGMs in FNF. We did once on accident. Well, I guess Blue 4 has an easy way to kill those B-tier 80 alphas. Anyway, let's look at the mission details. So again, Blue 4 defending 3 terminals, holding the sector. Op 4 trying to take all 3 and a sector as well. Briefing mission details here. 1,000 meters of render distance, 200 points for fortifying. The fortify color is tan because we are in a barren environment, and the time limit, as always, is 50 minutes. The notes of this mission: Crow's Humvee have no zoom. Boo. Blue 4 Echo has been given 3 additional rockets. Why is Blue 4 getting so much? Mission rules. Cranes may only be operated by those that have given explicit permission from the side commander. You are reliable for using the cranes. If something goes wrong, whoever operating the cranes is at fault, so please be careful. And under no circumstances detach any object while it's inside another object. TLDR, don't become the reason why we don't have fun things. So wait, we're gonna see cranes used in PvP? Wait. Wait. Are you saying they can lift these machine gun? Can they lift the machine gun turrets onto the roof? With the crane? I didn't know I needed this in life, but now I do. Because it says it can attach stuff. I want to see the striker get attached, lift into the air, and then fire ATGMs at people and then get lowered. Oh, this makes me so happy. All right, Brufro's loadout are U.S. Ranger kits. Wait, was there more? No, it's just mission rules and notes, no background. All right, I love it. All right, U.S. Ranger kits. So we've got Scar. Are those Scar H's or Scar L's? Hold on, we can tell if the mag's curved. They're Scar H's. So those are 7.62x51 NATO battle rifles, 20 round magazines. We got Mark 11s for the marksman. We've got the Grenadiers, team leaders, and whatnot. They have a, my God, I'm blanking, but it's basically an M4 platform with a 230 or 320 system on it. Oh my God, so we got 249s, AT4s, 240 Gulfs for the medium machine gunners in Delta, Moz for the Echo, and then vehicle crews getting MP7. Blue 4 also has the 2 Crow Humvees, 2 standing statics. I thought it was 4, but I guess it was a misprint. So, yeah, 2 standing statics, 2 transport trucks, 1 turnout M2 that's up armored, 13 M240 nests around, and then 2 construction cranes. Op 4, meanwhile, is Chechen forces with AK-74s, SVDs for the marksmen, RPKs for the light machine gunners, RPG gunners for the light anti-tank with 2 warheads, PKPs for Delta, and I don't see any heavy AT for them, so that's interesting. We got PKPs for Delta and then PP-2000s for the vehicle crews. We have a BTR-70, 2 transport gas trucks, BRDM-2 UM, which looks like it's unarmed. Yeah, unarmed. It's slightly armored. It doesn't really have that much. So 3 Gazes, 2 BRDMs, and 2 BTR-80 Alphas, and they don't have HE. And then an MI-8 with no rocket pods. Blue 4 is stacked for this mission. And then they've got 2... They have the tow gunner. Yeah, unfortunately no God tier AK-74Us, because that would have definitely balanced out the fact that Blue 4 has tows, 2 Crow M2s, 13 M240 bunkers, and 2 weaponized cranes. I want to see a crane, like, scoop up a player and attach him and just swing him around. Are we going to probably see that? No. Would it be funny as hell? Absolutely. All right, Hirana commanding Blue 4, NASA leading Bravo with Ibnovan as the marksman and Turtles as the medic. Major Khan, Kremet, Cheeseburger, Depso, and Timek in Bravo 1. Bravo 2 has Ash, Chuckleberry, Banks, Wheaton, and Eric all together. Patriot has leading Charlie with Whiteside as the marksman, FPGA as the medic, Martitic, Hunt, Wilberg, Harrington, and Campwell, all under Charlie 2. Delta being led by Wikicords with Tomez and Rambo Bambo Rocky 19 as medium machine gunners, and Helnerias as the medic. Titan leading Delta 1 with Maxic and Skip, who I think has 2 additional medium machine gunners. Norris has Smith and Michael all together. So I think the 3 additional rockets means instead of 2 rockets per person, it's 3. So they have 6 rockets between the 2 of them instead of standard 3 people having 6. So it's 3 people that have 9. And Norris has a Maz, I believe. Interesting. Golf is France and Onara taking the Striker, and then Ikio's alone in Delta 2 will probably merge in. Vagrant leading Op 4. Curie merged everyone in Alpha together, so he's got Lurch, McBain, Olaf, Seasmo, Pi, Charlotte, and Sam together. Mike leading Brav with Renly, Rodrigue, Skelbro, and Bursty. Yanni leading Charlie with Cullis as the marksman, Dobbs as the medic, Charlie 1 as Pert, Nyander, Nemesis, and Malin together. Katz being leading in Charlie 2 with SL Dream, Wise, and Wayne together. Tomer leading Delta with Omri, Benny, and Tom. Vehicle Crew 1 has the BTR-80 Alpha with Fawns, Crazy, and Snodge Pair. Hotel has the MI-8 with Nicholas Pierce and T, and then Golf 2 has Lolo and Alexander. Right off the bat, Blue 4 have superior assets, and Op 4 has a lot of extra people in vehicle crews. They don't need to 3-man a BTR-80 Alpha, and they certainly don't need 3 people for an MI-8. So, even though, like, that just nullifies Op 4's number advantage. And then on top of that, I mean, yeah, we've got some auto cannons, but Blue 4 have a tow system, and the 50 cal Crows can shoot out the BTR-80 Alphas. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. If I was watching me streaming this and I had points to bet, if I had 1 million channel points, I would put 900,000 on Blue 4. Because I want to see how Blue 4 could lose this with Crow System M2s, 13 medium machine gun bunkers, multiple standing statics with M2s. Like, everything they have other than the 240s can penetrate all of the vehicles that Op 4 has if they just suppress it. Like, I honestly don't see how Op 4 could win this. The only way Blue 4 could lose this is if they throw the match. Unfortunately for Blue 4, there's not a lot of positions in these open areas for them to throw infantry at in a silly idea. Like, they just have to hold maybe 2 areas and they'll be fine. And then let Op4 separate themselves out to capture more than 1 AO at a time because they're forced to. You can only bet 250,000? Well, who made that rule up? Where are our big spenders, damn it? Ian, you here? Can I file a protest with you? Come on, don't you know that gamblers are literally just 1 gamble away from winning it all? Ian, apparently the gamble limit on a bet's only 250,000 obligatory points that we ourselves have to put our own value in, similar to how money in the United States works. Shit, wait, I might be onto something. Regardless! $1 million cap for gamble. I know, 99% of gamblers stop before they win big. I mean, that's why, guys, that is why we have this Plinko board, which I will clean out before we do DayZ tonight, alright? And I will put even more grandiose prizes for combos for you guys. I know what scene to make zeros does to people. As have I, Ian. Also, Ian, do you want me to send you taco pics from later today? I should know I have a lot of NVIDIA stock. Oh, God. I do, too, admittedly. Hell yeah, you got it, man. I'll send you the, So Ian's on my list of people that I send food pictures to. I used to be in a few food discords. They all kicked me out, though. Some because apparently I was spamming somehow, and some because they didn't like when I posted my hog picture. Which, saying that out loud makes it sound different than what it actually is, but I went boar hunting, and, well, they didn't like it when I showed a picture. It wasn't even graphic. I got it with a single headshot, back of the ear, because that's the only way you could kill a hog in one hit with 5.56, apparently, but I digress. I just had a picture of me with it, and then a picture of it cooked up. I took its tenderloin, and I made a really nice pulled pork dish with it after slow cooking it for hours. And then after that, I used the leftover from that, and then we turned it into pulled pork sandwiches. It was probably one of the most tasty things I've ever eaten. Though I will admit we had to stew the meat in apple cider vinegar for like, I want to say 4 days to get the gaminess out, but when we did, it was just mwah, slow-cooked deliciousness. Regardless. Pulled, not hawk sandwiches, pulled pork sandwich. You know, Killing Owl, you know, it's because you're a killing owl, isn't it? That's why you would pull up something like that. You kill hawks and eat them in your sandwiches, don't you? That's why they call you Killing Owl. Ah, I knew it. This is why I called you Killing Gowl for so long, alright? I didn't want to believe you were a vicious hawk murderer. Little did I know I've been wrong all these years. Pulled hog sandwich. I'm going to be honest, pulled hog sounds more like a sexual term, so I'm just going to call it pulled pork, because it's still, a hog is a hog. One's just domesticated and the other one has tusks and it can gore you, and apparently kill a king and send an entire massive 7-kingdom network into a thing of disarray, allowing for some son that's actually made of incest and not the actual king to take the throne, only to, like, have all this other crazy BS happen. Can you tell that Bloodway and I have been rewatching Game of Thrones? Anyway, we still have 3 minutes. I still don't see how Op4 could lose this one. Or win this. God damn it. Alright. Clarifying point. I don't see how Op4 could win this one. The BTR-70's been put all the way over here with 2 gazes. That's funny. Blue 4 just going to hold Terminal 1 and then the sector around Terminal 3. Good call there because it's a smaller player count. But again, with all of these assets. Killing Owl is British. Is he British? Bruh, I gave you the backstory to my name. I know you did. But I'm a content creator and I have to generate content. So if you give me that, like a comedian that's cold calling the stage, I have to work with it. Ian knows. That's why he's secretly here. He knows if I'm not funny, he's just going to hit the button, and that is going to open the trap door, which deploys the ball-eating goat to come up and literally bite my pee-pee off, all right? That's what Twitch does to its content creators that don't perform, all right? Why do you think we have such a goat obsession on this channel, all right? We've taken our trauma and we've monetized it like any good teenage disappointment of their dad would do. Now I'm projecting again. Anyway. My jokes per limit rate is below... No! It's fine! It's fine, I assure you! I'm curious, though. Does his... Yeah, his symbol does come up in the little chat box in the content feed, so YouTube's gonna see this and wonder what the hell's going on, and they're gonna see that little wrench icon and go, oh. Oh, he's in trouble. Oh, no. Normally, this is the part where I'd yell up to Bloodwind for help, and then she'd ask what's going on. And then I'd bring up the goat, and then she'd just go, nah, just let it happen. It would be funny. Which is why one of these days I'm going to prank her with something. But regardless, oh, we've got blue 4 guys going on top of these towers. A long time ago when we had a similar AO, I want to say 2, maybe 3 years ago, we had a player named T5 Bay. He was one of the best people I've ever seen in FNF. He went on this tower, and he just started decking people with a marksman rifle. So let's see if Ivnomain can live up to that reputation. That was back when HE mortars were a thing in FNF, and 9 out of 10 times they were dog shit until 3 players, either Falcon, Stark, or T5 Bay touched them. Then they went from not being effective at all to absolutely causing one team to lose. And it was the opponent every single time. Regardless, mission is started. Oh god, Shark. Don't poke the bear. So opt for interesting strategy. They're going... Okay. Yeah. Oop. Okay. All right. So one of the BRDMs got some serious air and the other one's played bumper cars. Oh. Yeah, then you got the 80 Alphas lagging behind. Op4 now starting to deploy. I mean, another big issue with this AO is it's a massive open area. So Blue 4, if they just get in the bunkers, they're given so much machine gun capability. Now you got the helicopter. Quickly, combat crane. Wait, skip who's in the crane. Oh my, it actually textures you in... What? No, that's not... What? What, but what, huh? I don't think that's how cranes work. You know, I'm not a resident expert. I am forklift certified, but I'm pretty sure that's not how cranes work. Okay, regardless. Op 4, they're going to be taking the low ground here so they can pretty much move up to this AO with only that small open spot. We have a few people on ridges, though, ready to engage. We got some far guys over here. They're basically just watching 360 right now to see where opponents might come from. You gotta be really careful with those crows, because even though they're not allowed to zoom in, they can still auto range and basically hit the T key and pull the trigger, and the bullet will track for them. Have you seen how people sit on dock cranes? No, but I hope you have pictures, Ghost Wolf, because I want to see some of the dumbest crane-sitting stuff I've ever seen in my life. I want to see the best pose ever. My expectations blown away by situational irony. How does this look? Yeah, I don't see any movement. I don't see anyone skylining. That's good. Even looking up there, I don't really see anything. So, good approach on Op4 so far. Hiccup there. No one's outright blowing anyone's cover. Good 80 alpha position. I'm curious, though, what was the final ratio of points? Because I still fully stand by what I say. I genuinely don't see how Op4 could win this one. Just with the sheer amount of firepower on Blue 4's side. The only way Blue 4 can win is if they send all their forces out, really, and make a massive, thin defensive line, which, granted, they kind of have, but as soon as contact happens, they need to pull back. That's cute. They're just trying to pull attention at this point. No, not Rambo Bambo Rocky 19. He's being suppressed by one of the BTR-80 alphas. I'm going to be honest, not a good call because now Blue 4 is going to be looking in this direction, and this is where Op4 is still advancing from. 140k to 42k, yeah. Not surprised. Only saw a few float around, but never saved them. Gotcha. Alright, Ghost Wolf, I'll hold you to that. I want to see them literally float in that chair then. RPG's firing. That is a hit on Echo's vehicle. Another AT round was let loose, but it hit a tree. Dang. You know, Blue 4 being able to plant trees like that, I mean, that's just crazy. You know, there's a few Eden mods where you can add trees as a spawnable object. And with Ace Fortify, you could technically add the ability to plant trees as an object as part of the Fortify tool. So if you wanted to, you could play Farming Simulator by planting stuff. Maybe that's what I'll do. One day when I'm really, really bored, I'll challenge you guys to make me turn Arma into a game it's clearly not supposed to be, like Farming Simulator or Trucker Simulator. Wouldn't that be a time? So yeah, Op4 being caught out in these massive open fields, which are just, in reality, kill zones. There's my Tracer script kicking in. You did not already lose a Crow. Are you kidding me? Why is the Crow on the front line? Why was it on the spear of your defenses? Why? It's a Crow. You can literally... Why is the other one just out here? Why is it not in a Okay. Leave it to FNF to take some of the most overpowered assets in PvP and throw them. Literally throw them. Literally back to back. And then get caught out in the open because they were in a... To everyone that took my advice and bet on Blue 4, we are now realizing why you normally don't do that in FNF, and it's because sometimes the level of confidence of players boggles my mind. Actually. So, those were the main assets that could take out the BTR-80 alphas. With them out of the picture, the 80 alphas can basically engage stuff with impunity. Normally, they'd have to worry about Echo potentially driving around, but Echo was played as part of the defensive line. which is normally fine if they keep their vehicle secure so they can immediately change to then, you know, once the vehicle is sighted, driving into a position to flank it. But because they put it on the front, they got shot and lost the vehicle because its engine's disabled. So the only other asset we have now is the Striker. So now they just need to find an angle with the tow system, and they can snipe the vehicles with it. The question is, can they? Because this guy's doing a great job of keeping the 80 Alpha back when it's not needed, basically to help avoid tows. And then the other 80 Alpha is actually doing a great job of going with the infantry and trying to set up a secure position here. Granted, I wish it was a bit more on the high ground, but I also understand why they're being defensive with it, because there's a threat of tows on the defense. Anyway, that last Blue 4 guy just ate the bullet there. Literally. Wurzel, welcome, buddy. It's an F&F slaughter at this point, if you're a vehicle. Nonetheless, thanks for the month 3 stuff. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Rambo knocks someone out, but they wake up. He can't get the double tapping shot on Nemesis, and he is able to run for his life. The fields of fire in this AO are good, but Blue 4 is so far from them that they can't effectively capitalize on them. You know what would have done a really great job because it had perfect stability? Do you know what Blue 4 has 2 of that they lost immediately? Damn, who would have thought? Anyway. I think Blue 4's only hope is weaponizing the cranes. I'd assume these guys are eventually going to go to Terminal 2 once their job is done. Op 4, I think the only issue that they're going to have, though, is the amount of infantry they're still going to need to actually go into the AO and do stuff. And originally, when I saw literally like 10 dudes committed to vehicle crewing, I was a bit worried about that because you also have the Bravo one up there. But if this is only about, 69 players, so roughly 35v35, not including number advantages, let's say Op 4 has like 38, that is nearly a third of their force stuck in vehicle roles. Which means, in reality, Blue 4 has the defensive number advantage because so many Op 4 infantry are just kind of in the sunk cost of being in vehicles themselves. So, on these final pushes, you already see that Op 4 has transitioned pretty much all of their infantry. They only have Delta over here as Overwatch, and they've already lost a few guys, but they're feeling it. Blue 4, though, they've also lost a handful, but since they have all their infantry on the AO, all they have to do is just turn and engage whatever force is coming towards them, and then the other 2 pockets of Op 4 just aren't really enough. Because now it's a matter of how is Op 4 going to transition into this AO. They got to continue to circle around, then maybe get into these rocky structures and then push in. But either way, there's going to be an open area that Blue 4 can lock down. You could argue the BTR 80 Alphas could come in and assist, but then it becomes a race of how quickly they can put the vehicle online to start picking people off before the Striker comes out and hits them with the tow. At the same time, I think Op 4's only play here is to mount up in vehicles and just charge in. But again, Blue 4 is so well spaced out that Op 4 has no guarantee of where the enemy AT is. So they could very well pull up to a guy that could immediately blow them away, or they could pull up to a static gun, or they could pull up to, anything that could repel a rush. So Op 4, even though I think they've gotten the best play possible by knocking out the Crows, knocking out Echo's ability to be mobile with their medium anti-tank weapon, from here, there's just nothing Op 4 can really do, unfortunately. So now we're going to see a bit of a slowdown as Op4 try to regroup and figure out a plan. Helicopter's engine just got shot out. All right, chat. Will the chopper A, auto-rotate and land, or B, explode into a fireball? Type in your answers now. A for survive, B for blow up. A for auto-rotate, B for boom boom. It looks like Mr. Ridge is over here, but the chopper's doing a good job of stalling out into the river. Unfortunately, Mr. Tree is in the region. Oh, the chopper dives, and what? If your answer was C for crash, congratulations, you won. I thought it was going to explode. It's really rare that the chopper does not explode on an auto-rotate out. So I'll give it to Pierce. He's got a bit of skill. I'll give him that. But yeah. I mean, if you were here yesterday for not Friday Night Fights, excuse me, POG, where the Mi-24 kept landing at really weird angles, I mean, this kind of, like, mimics that. I don't know why, but Chopper has been just a minor distraction. Finally takes a few M2 hits, and that's down for the count. And looking at the map, I mean, Op4 is just kind of separated in various areas here. I don't really see what else they can do. So, Blue 4 is going to tighten their defensive line here. You got heavy fire now coming up to this position. They're trying to push the 80 Alpha up here. You know you can open that, right? Or you could run it over. Maybe they tried and they couldn't, but now, Did they high bar it? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Goodbye, Moon Man. Anyway. I think we forgot that Arma 3, even though you can mountain goat in this game, gravity for vehicles still is somewhat effective. And therefore, you can slide down to your death. Speaking of sliding down, don't do it, Malin. You have so much to live for. So this means Op 4 might not be able to get the BTR-80 Alpha on this ridge to cover, which just makes it that much harder for them to do something. Yeah, they could try shooting the gate. Let's see what they do. Casualty check. We've got a few more. One more on Alpha has gone down. Oh no, that's just the crew of the silly vehicle. Otherwise, Cullis died in transition. Katz died up here. Wise died while transitioning over. Not really any new deaths though. Looks like Yanni just got knocked out. You know, Scandi Recon's tactics confuse and frighten me. Anyway. So it looks like that BRDM is trying to pick infantry off, making them run from this little hilltop and whatever cover they can get. I just heard a bullet impact and hit somebody. You know, technically, if you were to surround this area and just suppress it with various angles and deliver enfilading fire, you could smoke people out that get on the rooftops, because now these guys are technically exposed to the Bravo element up here. But this, I think this entire sector is going to go to time. Not sector, this entire match. Because Op 4 doesn't have a way in. Maybe Hotel will be able to walk in because all of Blue 4 has been turned around. So you might see these guys be able to sneak in, but even then, that doesn't solve the main issue here. And then at this range with the marksman rifle, you're just going to see all the players do some really weird pathing thing. Wait a minute. This man's not even touching the ground. He's just levitating. I see. Ivno is really just a wizard. Okay. Fascinating. So Op4 trying to do a little bit of a push up here. Machine gun nests also just suppressing the top of that because they have the ammo for it. Let me actually check. How much machine gun ammo do each of those bunkers have? 1,000 rounds between 5 200 round boxes. So yeah, they have a lot. More than enough to just burn some of it on that hilltop, definitely. If it means a potential free kill, why not? The truck back here, people are getting shot. Depso's run into the bunker. Here we go. This is where Op4 could potentially make a move. Got Pierce, T, and Nicholas. Equipped with PP-2000 submachine guns with 44-round magazines. And some goofy-ass red dot sights on some of them. Only one. Against an M249 gunner. Who will win? A light machine gun? Or that's a frag grenade. And just like that, the LMG lost. Anyway. Pierce now has an M249. Righto, Ghost. We'll see you soon. So Blue 4's trying to pull all their forces out from this position just to hold this inner one. So Op 4 is going to be able to get that on the board. We still need to see someone go up on that position. Pierce runs out with the 49. Caster curse moment, yeah, right? Ooh, hyping up the light machine gun, and that's a grenade. I'll pin the DayZ channel when we're heading back, because that means we're about 30 minutes out from the stream itself. Grenades sometimes make a little clinking sound when they hit something. Sometimes they're entirely quiet, which is why in PvP, stealth grenades are a serious issue. What was that, a Hunt IR? Yep. So Patriot's trying to figure out where Op 4 is right now, and he's going to see T and potentially Pierce out there. Nicholas is in a building, so he's not going to see that. So he's just going to see it's a minor light incursion here as Blue 4, again, pulling everything back. Eventually, someone's going to have to drive down and hit that terminal. But you see Op 4 making the transition to come on this spot and then push in. So let's see if Blue 4 changes their defensive line. Delta still in the back, could redeploy, but till then... we just saw Wilberg try to suppress Nicholas's position. T runs out, gets dropped by Patriot because Patriot saw them on the Hunt IR. And Pierce is just holding back right here. Not able to do much. What the fuck is a stealth grenade? It's a grenade that doesn't make noise until it explodes, then it makes some noise. But usually the people that it's next to aren't alive to hear it. We just saw one guy get picked off of this bunker, and someone looting his 249. Or hers. I don't know. BRDM slowly advancing. Vehicles on Overwatch. Pierce trying to suppress that doorway. only to be headshotted by Patriot, and that's Patriot's third freaking kill. So Blue 4 is still kind of split on defenses here. Op 4, this is their best opportunity to get in with the amount of people that are turned away from the AO. We still have people like Ivnomain hidden in these little spots. They have started picking up kills. But as Op 4 get closer to all the marksman and Overwatch positions, they'll be more effective. Striker now taking a risk and coming out with the toe. Both BTRs are in the area. Uh-oh. You are such a Muppet. Okay. Moz round comes in, knocks out Sam's vehicle. Autocannon, there we go. There we go, okay. You kind of redeemed yourself there. And now you're charging forward. So we need to see the rest of Op 4's infantry trickle into here. However, this might give Blue 4 enough time to redeploy their defensive line to stop this initial incursion because a big chunk of Op 4's infantry are in the back. Op 4 still have one BTR-80 Alpha to give overwatching fire with and another BRDM. And it looks like Delta's trying to change over, potentially engage that position. But Blue 4's assets have been thrown a little bit here, that's for sure. Another RPG fired into that striker for good measure. Vagrant and Olaf still holding the spearhead. And we see that the Blue 4 position here is still being pushed. Multiple dead. And now we see a flame out on that striker. They only had 2 missiles, yeah. I have no idea what happened with that first one and why it got fired into the sunset, but, you know. You know, maybe Blue 4 is just baiting Op 4 to come into the AO so the Blue 4 can weaponize the cranes. You never know. I'm getting a little worried about Blue 4's numbers here because Op 4 still have this big chunk of infantry back here and this other chunk. And Blue 4 are still pretty badly divided. We have a small chunk up here. We have that chunk over there. We got a small defensive line down here and then another small line over there. That's because Echo has been wiped entirely up here. You have the entirety of 3-4 wiped. And then Bravo has also taken some heavy casualties because they were on Overwatch. Olaf manages to get a good grenade in here. That's going to give a double kill. Aw, that's cute. One of them dived into the other's arms. And they say romance is dead. So I think Blue 4 have spread themselves out too much. Olaf moving into the turtle position. And unfortunately, turtle is dead. I think Blue 4 lost. Well, we see a new defensive line here. Some Op 4 getting picked off, so it's not over yet. But we need to see Blue 4 really perform right now, because Op 4 have a lot of infantry they can still throw into this AO. I'm going to say it. Some Blue 4 players are really going to have to channel their inner Audrey Hotto to win this one. Can it happen? Or is Op 4 going to somehow misfire and kill some of their own dudes? Anything's possible. I was about to say, if that was a frag and it got bursty, I would have laughed my ass off. 249's doing its best, but it can't seem to get a shot through the foliage on Roderick. Roderick, whatever. There's the AT. Major Khan beating out Pi with that 249 versus an AK. That's how those fights should go down, but, you know, sometimes Op4 get lucky with those headshots. And it looks like all the Op4 players on around that side have been taken out. Don't shoot at the cranes. They did nothing wrong. BRDM is pushed up, and the light machine gun is trying to pen. With enough shots, the BRDM can shoot the gun sight out. But the heavy and medium machine guns on these vehicles will definitely help stop a few things. Yanni not seeing Major Khan hiding. Major Khan moving might... Nope, GL's going in. Stop shooting at some of the Delta Overwatching members there. Now we got autocannon fire. As the vehicles are pushing in. Blue 4 doesn't have a lot of light anti-tank. That's going to be up to Echo if Echo's even still alive, which they are not. They were over here and they died. So Op4 might be able to spearhead with Vix here. Harrington gets spotted going in, but somehow gets the headshot with his RPK. What the heck is Skippoo doing? Did he run out of ammo? You got Olaf pushing on Eric's building. Eric, I think, heard him. There's Terminal 3 now being hacked. Charlotte rushed up to do it. That's going to make anyone in the Blue 4 side turn around now. They're trying to suppress Charlotte, but she's backing out. Uh-oh. RPK versus, what is that, a Glock? Yeah. Decent bounce. He got it where he needed to. Yeah, he tried, but unfortunately basically used all of his ammo. Iander trying to get some pickoffs on Delta. Now you got Vagrant running up to that position triple time. Now he's trying to hide. Terminal has almost finished its hack. It's going to rely on those last 3 Blue 4 guys to hold that other position. And Op4 needs to send someone up to go get Terminal 2. 18 minutes remaining. Eric tried running out in the open, I guess, after he threw a charge. Op4 looking good to win this one. Sector's been taken. Terminal has 10 seconds left on it. Vagrant is leading, not Pierce. Vagrant's trying to climb the mountain. Titan's running around trying to find Vagrant. Titan gets spotted and headshotted by Vagrant. Boom. So now the question is, can Blue 4 pull back to this remaining position and hold it for 18 minutes? And what the heck are these chuckleheads doing? You think that's smart to do in an open area when that place just got hacked? When you can... Okay. Are they going to abandon it and push up to that one instead? Yeah, and then you got Delta right here ready to stop any Blue 4 guys from running into that zone. Maybe that Crow system can save it. But they would need one of the best gunners in the world at this point. They might be able to hit the 80 Alpha. Does Charlotte have AT? Ooh, that's going to be a really tough shot. What are they doing? Why are you pushing? What? Why are you coming back into here? You've already lost. Are they going to pursue that truck and shoot everyone in the butt? Please tell me they're going to shoot everyone in the butt. Point that crow forward. It's in, you can drive. Oh my God, yeah, that's just. Shoot! Yeah, Charlotte just missed that RPG. Do they think they're friendly because that's a friendly truck? Gun stuck. Hey, buddy. Just flying from Stupid Town? Hey, let's abandon our final defensive position and randomly drive up to a vehicle that we think is friendly and then proceed to die. And I think Blue 4 just lost their last player over here. It's GG. Op 4 just won. The really sad thing is that with that crow, they actually had a decent chance. If they put it on a nice overwatch position and then just ranged it out and then had the other two guys hold, they would have had that. And that goes to show you, you can give one side all of these fancy little toys and all of these fun little assets, but if they throw them like that, no amount of assets will make up for skill. Anyway, guys, we'll be back for DayZ later tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or nights. And I am contractually obligated to play this again. So we'll wrap up the stream after these messages. As an Arma 3 content creator, one of the most common questions I get from fans is where can I find a good Arma 3 unit to play in? One of my biggest recommendations is milsimunits.com. You can click on the Arma button on the main browser, and it'll take you to a page where you can see various different Arma unit listings. Each listing has a nice picture representing the unit, a brief synopsis, and the information you need to join the unit. Unit leaders can also sign up on the website for free by simply joining the website's Discord.